Dakota reveals she was forced by director to act an intimate scene with Jamie without protection. Silent interview. Venice, summer 2025. In a quiet suite at the gritty Palace Hotel, Dakota Johnson sits in front of a tape recorder. There is no PR team, no assistant, just her and freelancer Emma Lively, who has turned down a string of entertainment features to focus on stories women are afraid to tell. Are you ready? Emma asks, her voice as soft as the morning rain. Dakota nods. Her gray eyes are silent, as if looking far away. I've never told anyone this. Not because I'm afraid of Jamie. Not because I'm afraid of Hollywood. I'm afraid of myself. Afraid that if I tell, I'll never be the same person again. The tape plays, and Dakota talks. Behind the scenes of a legend, the 50 Shades trilogy has stirred controversy around the world. Sex, power, control. But few people know that behind the scenes there are also stories that no one wants to talk about. Dakota recalls a day of filming the first part, March 2014, in Vancouver. It was the first scene that had real intimacy. I thought we were prepared. We had an intimacy coordinator, as per the rules. But that morning, the director, Sam, fictional, walked into my trailer and said, "We're taking protection off, Dakota. It makes it look fake." Dakota froze. Are you serious? She asked. Sam nodded. We need real emotion. Jamie said yes. Dakota found Jamie Dornan soon after. He was wearing a robe, sipping coffee. I asked him, "Are you really okay with not wearing protection?" Jamie looked at me and said, "You don't get to decide." I know that. That answer is etched in Dakota's mind to this day. On set, no protection. In that scene, they were on a bed. The camera was close. Normally, both actors would have been provided with protective gear, brass, skin-colored underwear, a thin layer of fabric between them. But that day, nothing. I felt cold, both literally and emotionally. I was practically naked in front of dozens of people, cameras, lights, directors. And I felt betrayed. Jamie kept his face professional, but his eyes averted when the camera cut. No one said anything, no one objected. They were afraid of losing their jobs. Afraid of being labeled difficult to work with. Dakota said, I grew up in a famous family. I know the price of silence. But that day, I felt like a prop. Not a person. Years of silence. After the film's huge success, Dakota became a global icon. People admired her for her courage to do bold scenes. But no one knew the fear she felt every time she walked into the trailer. There were times when I threw up because I was nervous before a scene. But I still had to smile on the red carpet. Does anyone know about that? Emma asked. Dakota was silent for a moment. Yes. A production assistant named Marlene. She put her hand on my shoulder and whispered, "You don't deserve this." But she was fired shortly after. Dakota wrote an email to her agent, describing her feelings of hurt. The answer she received was, "They signed a contract. You should respect that." Jamie, the silent one. Emma asks the question that everyone in the audience is thinking. Did Jamie Dornan know you were uncomfortable? Dakota nods. Yes. I believe he did. But he was forced. We were pawns in a much bigger game. Dakota doesn't accuse Jamie of abuse or intentionally hurting her. On the contrary, she calls him the best actor in the worst possible situation. But there were times when I saw the numbness in his eyes, like he couldn't feel anything. When a man is forced to do intimate scenes 3 times a day for 4 months, he becomes numb. And I was broken, exposed. Dakota decided to tell all after 11 years. Why? Because I can't stay silent. There are so many young actors who are going through the same thing and have no voice. She didn't sue. She didn't ask for money. She just wanted the truth to be told. I was afraid that if I told this story, people would say I was attention-seeking. But if that attention could save another girl from having to sacrifice her dignity for a scene, then I was willing to endure it. Emma stopped recording. She and Dakota hugged for a long time. No cameras, no media. Just two women, one telling, one listening. After shot, the article was published in The Atlantic, with the headline, "When the Shot Scars, Dakota Johnson Tells Behind the Screen Truth." Immediately, the world exploded. From New York to Paris, the headlines were, "Dakota Johnson Breaks Silence on Rape in the Film Industry." A veteran director spoke up in support of Dakota. "I've seen a lot of these scenes. There's nothing artistic about an actor feeling unprotected." Meanwhile, the production company behind the first 50 Shades released a statement, denying any wrongdoing, and saying, every scene was shot in compliance with the rules of the day. Jamie Dornan remained silent. Change. A week after the article, Hollywood announced a new rule: the presence and consent of both actors for all intimate scenes, complete with protective gear and a supervisor. Dakota posted nothing on social media. She was back on the set of a small indie film in Ireland. No blockbusters, no sex scenes, no abuse of power. Emma Lively sent her a text, "Your story made history." Dakota replied, "I don't want to make history. I just want no one else to write this story." Quote,